Do you ever feel disconnected even when you are surrounded by people? You go through your day, you answer messages, you work, you speak, you move through routines, but underneath all of that, there is a quiet separation, a feeling that something is missing, a feeling that you are apart from life instead of truly inside it. Many people live with that feeling every day. They call it loneliness, emptiness, anxiety, disconnection. But Rumi would say that what you are really experiencing is not the absence of meaning. It is the pain of forgetting your deeper connection. In this video, you will understand why that feeling happens, why the mind creates the illusion of separation, and how reconnecting with your deeper awareness, your true self, your consciousness, your place within a larger universal consciousness can bring you back to clarity, compassion, and peace. Modern life trains us to live on the surface. We measure ourselves by roles, schedules, messages, performance, and comparison. We become identified with our thoughts, our stress, our responsibilities, our image. And little by little, we begin to mistake that surface identity for who we really are. That is where disconnection begins. Rumi teaches that the deepest problem in human life is not simply suffering, it is the illusion of separation. We begin to believe that we are isolated minds moving through a world of separate people, separate problems, separate ambitions. We believe that what happens to us belongs only to us. We believe that our struggles are ours alone. But this, for Rumi, is a misunderstanding of reality. He says that what appears separate is not separate at all. Like sunlight falling on different walls, life appears in different forms, but the light behind it is one. Like one moon reflected in many pots of water, consciousness appears as many individuals, but the source is still one. What we call individuality is real at one level, but incomplete if we stop there. This is why disconnection feels so painful. At the deepest level, consciousness longs for wholeness. The true self longs to remember that it is not cut off from life. The human being longs to feel again that they belong, not just socially, but existentially, not just emotionally, but in the structure of reality itself. When that connection is forgotten, we feel fragmented. We become trapped inside our own thoughts. We treat other people as separate stories instead of expressions of the same living field. We lose sensitivity, we lose wonder, we lose the sense that our lives are part of something larger. And yet, even inside that forgetting, there's still a quiet memory, a pause, a moment of stillness, a flash of awareness, a sense that perhaps the surface is not the whole story, that perhaps beneath all these separate roles and identities, there is one deeper reality, one consciousness, one life, one underlying presence moving through many forms. That recognition is the beginning of return. Rumi would say, this feeling is not proof that you are broken. It is proof that you are deeper than the identity you have been living from. When you experience disconnection, the answer is not to add more stimulation. It is not to become busier. It is not to build a stronger performance of yourself. The answer is to see more clearly, to realize that what feels separate at the level of the mind is not separate at the level of reality. And this is where Rumi becomes so powerful because he does not just say be kind or feel connected. He offers a radical shift in perception that your consciousness is not isolated, that your true self is not a closed container, that life is not made of separate fragments, but of a deeper unity expressing itself in many forms. Rumi's teaching on unity is not just mystical poetry, it is a practical perception. He asks us to look again at the world we think we know. A person appears separate, but their life affects others. A thought becomes an action. An action affects a relationship. A relationship shapes a family. A family shapes a community. A community shapes the atmosphere in which countless lives unfold. We are not isolated events. We are threads in a web, and every thread matters. This is why awareness changes everything. This is also why love is so central to Rumi. Love is not merely an emotion, it is the force that dissolves the illusion of separation. It allows consciousness to recognize itself in another being. It lets us move beyond the narrow story of me and mine and into a larger sense of belonging. And when that happens, life changes in very practical ways. You listen more carefully, you become less defensive. You stop needing every difference to become a division. You begin to feel connected not because everyone agrees with you, but because you can sense the same deeper life moving through many forms.
You feel separate because you are looking only at the surface. The mind sees difference first. This person, this life, that life. But awareness sees something else.
If we are not separate, why does it feel so real?
Because you are seeing form, but not the source behind it. When you look only at waves, you think each one is alone. But when you see the ocean, you understand. You are not a stranger in this world. You are the world, appearing as a form. You are not a drop lost in the ocean. You are the ocean, moving as a drop. The light you seek in others is the same light, looking through your eyes. The breath that moves in you moves through all living things. You call it my life, but it is life itself, flowing through you. You call it my mind, but awareness is not owned. It is shared. It is one. It is whole.
Then what do we feel as disconnection is not real?
It is experienced, but it is not the final truth. It is like a shadow. It appears when the light is not seen. You do not need to create connection. You only need to remove what blocks your seeing. Noise, distraction, constant thinking. When those fall quiet, what remains is what has always been there. Between you and everything, there is no wall, only a thought that you have believed for too long.
At the beginning of this video, we asked a simple question. Why do we feel disconnected, even when life looks normal on the outside? Now you can see the deeper answer. Disconnection is not always about the world around you. It comes from the way we experience ourselves within that world. When we live only in our thoughts, when we reduce ourselves to roles, problems, and constant mental noise, we begin to feel separate from others or from life, even from ourselves. But as Rumi shows us, that separation is not the truth. It is a perception. Beneath the surface, there is something deeper, a shared awareness, a universal consciousness, the same life moving through all of us in different forms. And when you begin to notice that, not as an idea, but as a direct experience, something changes. You listen differently. You relate differently. You feel less alone without needing anything outside to change. So the next time you feel disconnected, don't rush to escape it. Become aware. Look a little deeper, because what you're searching for may already be here, just beneath the noise. This video is part of the 7-book Rumi collection by Dr. Farid Mostamand, available on Amazon. If this resonated with you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and continue this journey with us. And remember, you're not separate from life. Your life becoming aware of itself.